Good morning. Can anyone please confirm I'm audible or not? Can you hear me? Yeah. Okay then. Can anyone tell about float property? Float, float property. Float, how it's going to work? Okay, for example, I have one div there. Inside that div, I have multiple properties are there. Okay, multiple elements are there, not properties. Okay, anchor tag, home. Okay, close my anchor tag, and one more anchor tag like about. Close my anchor. See here. What is the difference between display and float properties? Display, not display, sorry. Text align. Text align. Text align property and float. See, my div is like which type of element? My div is like a block load element, so that it's take like full width. Okay, 100% width it's going to take. Now, inside my div, there has some content is there. One is like home and another one is like above. This total content, if you want to move in the right side, okay, if you want to move in the right side, then the time for my div, how much space is there? How much space is there? 100% is nothing but this much space is there. Okay, let me open pane. Let me open pane. Okay, this is my div. This is my div, which takes the full width. Okay, inside this div, two elements are there. One is like home, the other one is like above. These elements, these two elements I want in the right side. See here, this is my div. This is my div. In my div, there has some space is there to move the content or not. To move the content or not. That time, if you want to move the content inside this div, then you can go with the text aligns. Text align. This text align to whom I have to apply. Okay, who has space? Okay, who has space? Div has space to move div content. Then you can go with the text align. Just you can put like right. Okay, perfect. Text align you have to apply for what? Parent element always. Okay, who has some space to move the content. Now float you can put it. Float. Float property we should not apply for this particular div. Float property we should have to apply the elements inside the div. Okay, which elements you want me to move in the right side? Home and about. Okay, so that my div is the reference now. My div has the bounds. Okay, one is like left is this one and right is this one. Now this float property you have to apply for div also. So if you want to apply, you can apply for div also. But the thing is, if you apply float property, that one is turned to be, it's going to remove the space from the DOM and turn to be inline. If my div is turned to be inline, then that what happens? That what menu, okay, turn to be like this or not? You want me to show like this menu? You should not. The menu should be what? It should have to take the full width only or not. So that we should not give the float property for the div. So to whom you want me to give? If you want to give, you can give it to my home. If I give it to my home, if I give it to my home, which property? Float property. Okay. Float. Now home will come to what or not right side what? To right side what or not? Can you hear now? Can anyone confirm I'm audible or not? Yeah. Okay then see, if I give the float right property to my home move to right side. Who is the parent here? Div is the parent. My div right side bound is this one or not? So that my home comes to this spot like this. Okay, my home move to this spot. Okay, perfect. Now you are going to apply the next one is what? The next one. About also, right? Okay, about also there. Okay, for this about also you are going to apply like what? Float property, right? Float property. Then the time Then the time where it's going to move, my about already home is going to occupy some space, right? So about is come like this. Here my about is going to be visible. So that instead of float property, that's just move the content, the total content in the right side. Then you can go with the text align. Text align. Okay, instead of float. Understand the difference between text align and float? Text align always apply for the parent one who has the space. Who has the space? In this case, my div has the space, so that you have to move this content inside the div. So text align, right? You can put it. Okay, if you want to add the float property based on your requirement, the float property always add to your elements there inside, which is inside the parent element. Okay, who has the space? Okay, here div has the space, so that here my home is one element. That home, if you want to move left and right, then you can go with like float property. Okay, don't apply the float property to my div. Why? Because it's tend to be like inline. Okay, my div should not change like inline. Do you understand the difference between float and this? Okay, okay, then let's go on. Already now come to this particular one. Okay, first check my application is running or not. If you want to run your application, what is the command? Which command we are going to use? If you want to run your React application, which command? npm start is the command. npm start. Can anyone tell where you find this command in your application? Where you can find this command in your application? Inside the package.json. Okay, package.json. Okay, inside the package.json, which property? Scripts property. Scripts property. Okay, there you can find multiple properties. One is like not dependency script. Dependencies contains React, DOM, all your libraries. These are like running application running command, right? This is inside the script. Okay, which things are there in the script? Anyone read the scripts property? One is like start, you can find. The next one is like what? Build, you can find. The next one is like test, you can find. Okay, the next one is like or something is there. See, Ajax you can find. Okay, these all things we'll see. No problem at all. I will tell one by one. First, you can focus on start. Okay, if I run this npm start command, anyone tell internally what happened? Which script is going to run? Which library is going to start? If you run npm start, which library is going to start? It is going to start one of the library called as a React scripts library. It's going to start React scripts. Okay, so that it is going to load your React scripts library. Okay, inside the React scripts library, can anyone guess what it's going to handle? My React scripts library is going to handle what? It's handle compilation. What my Babel did in the past. Okay, one is like compilation. Another one is like run your app in one server. Okay, with one of the port number called is 3000 is the default port number or not. If this 3000 is occupied by some other person, then it's going to start with 3001. 3001 also occupied by some other person. It's going to start with 3002 like this. Okay, so already my application is running. So can I open this one? My local host 3000 already running one application. 3001 you can put it. Yeah, this is the one or not? Okay. Okay, here if you observe, this is your title. If you want to change your title, you can change it. Where we can change? Inside my index.html. Okay, see this is my title or not. Okay, here you can write like my first React app. My first React application. Okay, this is the one. My title changed or not? This is called as a fav icon. Okay, link relation equals to fav icon somewhere you can find. Okay, now say this. Control F, fav icon. Yeah, this is the one. Link relation equals to icon. If you want to add this icon, yes, you can add it. See this. ICO is the extension for the fav icon. Directly JPG files also you can put it, no problem at all. JPG files also you can put it. Okay, if you want to change it, Just you have one JPG file is there. If you want to convert into ICO file, just go to the Google. There has some online, okay, online websites are there to convert your JPG to ICO. Okay, just you can convert it and you can place it in the public folder. Okay, after that you can change whatever the name you want, just you can change it. Otherwise, if you have only the JPG file, yes, you can put the JPG or PNG file also, no problem at all, but it's not a recommended one. Always my fav icon should be like a .ico extension, with the .ico extension. Okay, if you want to change, you can change it. If you don't want this one, just you can comment. Just you can comment. My fav icon will not work. Okay, like cache. Now control C, control C. Yeah. Okay, just you can remove it. Okay, sometimes the browser cache is there, right? Okay, that's also causes an issue. Okay, this is also an icon. Okay, okay, then just check it. These are the meta tags. There is no problem. Okay, just do one thing. Just run again the application. Okay, just run the application again. Can we run? How you can run it? npm start is the command. npm start. Now see internally which script is going to run. React script start is going to run or not. Okay. Now see here. Would you like to run your app in another port number? Okay, yes. Why? Because localhost 3000 is already occupied. Yeah, fav icon we can say like this. This is the fav icon. See this. The tab. Okay, it's going to tell like this is the title of your web application. Okay, this is your fav icon. Okay, just it's going to represent your application. Okay, this is the one. UIJavaKit.com is the title, and this is your like fav icon. Okay, just it represents your application. That's it. Okay, now it's running. Just wait. Okay, so can I open that? Localhost 3001 here. Localhost 3001. Click on this. Okay, still it is there. Okay, can we change at least this fav icon? Okay, save as first. Okay, go to our website. Where is our website? In our my classes. This is our folder, right? Okay. React Node 1978. This is our folder. Inside this folder, this is your web application. Inside the public folder, we can. This public folder, we can use it. Okay, done. Now, if you want to convert this one into ICO file, yes, you can convert. Convert okay, JPG to ICO. Okay, this is like online converters. Just you can. Okay, drop the file here. Okay, just drop it. Where is our file? This is local disk D. My classes. Okay, this is the one. Okay, public folder. There is a session. starting conversion. Okay, download. Yeah, this is my ICO file. Show and folder. Control X and go to your folder. This is the one, right? Let's replace this one. Now you can change here. There is that index.html. Yeah. Can I open this one? Okay, here my file icon is like what? Searching, right? Searching.html. Let's check if it changed or not. Now come here. Yeah. Now says my searching changed or not. Yes or no? Okay. This is this is my application name and this is my file icon. Okay then, come on, let's start. See, this is your header and this is my menu and this is my footer one. This is my footer one. Here there has four menu items are there. Four menu items are there. Our requirement is what? If I click on the home, okay, the path is going to change like home or not? Why it's going to change like home? Why it's changed like this? Why? Because you created this particular home text by using anchor tag or not? By using anchor tag. The anchor default behavior is like what? Routing or not? By default behavior is like a routing. Inside the anchor tag, whatever the that means whatever the attribute value for my href you specified, that attribute value is going to reflect in your path or not. Okay, for my home, my href attribute value just I kept like what? /# home, so that one is going to reflect in your path or not. Same like this for my about also this one, for my contact also this one, for my service also this one. But the thing is, yes, my path got changed. My path got changed. But here with this path, one component for this particular path, one component has to load inside my body or not. That one not yet completed. Okay. If it is like a home, my path is like home, which component you want me to load? Which component you want me to load? Already you downloaded all the components somewhere. Okay, import now downloaded, imported where? In my menu.jsx or not. Okay, if you see this one here, see, if my path is like home, okay, which component you want me to bind with the home component or not? If my path is like about, okay, which component you want me to bind about component or not? If my path is like contact component, like this, somewhere we have to map it or not. If you want to map, okay, we are going to depending upon some other library or not. Which library? That is React Router DOM. So for how many libraries are there inside the package.json? Inside the package.json, see how many libraries are there? Okay, 3 libraries are there in the past. Now you added one more library or not? You added one more library or not? Can anyone tell which library you added? Can anyone tell which library you added? Which library you added? This library or not? React Router DOM is the library or not? How we added? Can anyone? How we added? Okay, if you want to add one library, okay, what things are required? What inputs you should know? What inputs are required? Okay, first of all, library name should be. Okay, optional thing is if you know library version, it's good. Okay, if you have both inputs, name and library version, then the time go to your package.json. Go to your package.json. Okay, there go to your dependencies. Go to your dependencies. Okay, here you can add like your library name and version. Here you can add like what? Your library name and version. If you know both, I'm telling, if you know the library name and version both, just simply you can write like your library name and version. Okay, the next thing is what you have to do. If you know both, then what you have to do? Can anyone? Then what we have to do? Then after that, okay, you should have to run npm install command, not npm start, npm install command. Okay, if you know the library name and library version, add into add into package.json and do and run this command and run npm install command. Okay, if you know the version and library name. Okay, if you know only the library name, then library name. I don't know the version, then okay, just you can write like npm install. What is my library name? Here React router DOM is my library name, and then you can do one thing like save. You can do one thing like save. Now tell me, if you run this npm install command, this one, find the package.json first, and then check for the dependencies property or like dev dependencies property, and whatever the libraries you mentioned there, those all are downloaded or not. Okay, downloaded or not. Already there has 3 libraries already downloaded. In the time it is not touch those libraries. Which one is the new one? That one only is going to download. Which one is the new one? That one only going to download. If you don't know about that particular library version, then the time just you can write like this. Go wherever the package.json is there, recommended one. Okay, go there and run this command npm install react router. Okay, up to here, what it is going to do, you know, it's going to download this library and place inside node modules folder. Place inside the node modules folder. But our requirement is not only place inside the node modules folder, I want to save it in the package.json or not. Okay, so this particular command will do 2 tasks. One is like download the library and place inside the node modules folder, and save that one into the package.json. Save that one into the package.json. 2 things will do. Understand or not? Okay, that one we already completed. I don't know about this particular version, so that directly I run like what? npm install react router DOM, and this particular version automatically came. Okay, you put like --, save, and that time automatically that is saved inside this package.json or not. Perfect. Now come here. The next thing is like what? Mapping. Next thing is like what? Mapping. Who will take care? Which library will take care? My React router DOM will take care. My React router DOM will take care. So that first of all, import React router DOM. Import from React router DOM. Anyone tell? I am importing with this particular object format. I imported without object. What is the difference between this one and this one? Can anyone guess? I imported in this format. I imported without that particular object format. What is the difference? Any file export with default, then we can import like this. Any file export without default, then that time, okay, we should have to use like a destructuring format like this. Now, if you observe my service, okay, exported like what? Without default or with default? With default. Can you go to my services folder? Okay, this is my index.js. You exported with default or not? I removed this one. Oh, there is no export, nothing. Okay, there is no default, nothing, not export. There is no default, nothing. Okay, now syntactical how it looks like. Okay, there is an error is there or not. If you want to export directly, you can export in this particular one only. Okay, here itself you can get the service. Okay, here itself you can write like default only. Wherever the class is there, okay, wherever the component is there, okay, there itself you can export. Like this. There itself. Okay, here these all are not required for us. Okay, now you export this particular service one with export or with default or without default. Without default or not. Then the time you have to import like what? You have to import like destructuring format. Okay, when you go for with default, without default, can anyone tell? When you go for with default and without default, can anyone? Okay, very simple thing. I'll write one simple example. I have 1.js file is there and 2.js file is there. Both are within the same folder. Here I have one function is there. Function F1. Okay. Now this function I want to export it. So how we can export? Okay, default F1. Yes. I want this particular function inside this one. So how we can import? Import my F1 from where? From my 1.js or not? 1.js. Yes. Okay. Now there is no object format, nothing. There is no object destruction format, nothing. Here you export with default. Okay, within the file, only one export is there, then you can go with the export default. For example, I have one more F2 also there. One more function F2 is there. Okay, yes, you can. Okay, it has one more function F3 is there. Now, these three files required by 2.js. 2.js. Now, do you want me to write like export default like this, export default like this? Okay, it's syntactically wrong. Within the file, okay, we can write only one export default. Only one export default. Within the file, if you want to export multiple things, then the time export default will never work. Then you can go with what? Then you can go with export. So that can we write like this? Okay, here itself you can write like what? Export. Okay, you can remove export default. You can remove this export default. You can remove this export default. So here also you can write like what? Export. Okay, here also you can write like what? Export or not. Now, there is no default, nothing. If you export multiple things. If you export without default from this particular file, how we can take that, how we can import that one means the object destruction format. Which one you exported? F1, F2, F3. So that things you can take here. F1, F2, F3 like this. Okay. Now when you go for export default, means only one value if you want to export, then you can go with export default. If you want to export multiple values, then you can go with what? Without export or without default or not. Okay, you can ask one question like, hey, is it possible? Okay, is it possible to export default as well as without default within a single file? Yes, we can do it. Okay, I have one more function is there. F4 is there. Okay, here can I write like export default F4? Yes, is it valid or not? Is it valid or not? Is it a valid syntax or not? Means yes, valid. Why? Because one file can export only one default. Yes, here also, how many export defaults are there? Only one. Okay, you can write any number of exports. This is also valid. If you want to get this F4 now, how we can? It's like export default, not export. If it's like export, you can get like a destruction format, but it's like a export default. Then you can write like F4 like this. It is like without default. Okay, only one, always only one only there for export default. Here, this one is like a export. Okay, bring my React also. Okay, here see, my React is like what? There is no destruction format, nothing. Then it's export. Now if you observe here, use fallback. These all are like what? From my React library, they exported. Okay, these all things without default. This one with default or not. Okay, these are like hooks. At the time of hooks discussion, we'll see that. You understand or not? Agreed? So within a single file, how many export defaults you can write? Only one. How many exports you can write? Any number of exports you can write. Is it possible to write the combination, one export default, multiple exports? Yes, we can write it. Okay, if you want to import exports, then how we can? In the destructuring format, you can import. Okay, export default, how we can import? Okay, directly we can import with the name. That's it. Okay, without destruction format. Now, if you come here with the 𝕤𝕤𝕒𝕟𝕜𝕤, I written like this. That means what? My React router DOM.js library export multiple things or not? Yes or no? Okay, if you put like a destruction format, export multiple things. What those are means? Okay, come on, based on your requirement. Now see, you are going to handling the routing or not? Now there has two types of routings or there types. Okay, in the route path with hash. Okay, without hash. Okay, you can find like two types. Okay, sometimes my localhost 3001 without hash, you can see like this. Okay, now we are going to write like this. Okay, both are like different types. One is like in the path hash is there, another one is like without hash is there. Now you can ask like, hey, what is the difference between hash and without hash? Means very simple thing. Most of the times for analytics purpose, we are going to use this hash. Easily we can track our path. Okay, what is the analytics means? Very simple thing. you deployed one application. Okay, I want to check how many people views this home page, how many people views this service page, how many people views this contact page, like this. Okay, I want to track it, my web application performance, as well as how many people are viewing which page exactly in my web application. Okay, if you want to track, how we can track it by using analytics or not. Okay, Google Analytics or there like that. Okay, easily we can track if it's like a hash. Other than that, nothing. Okay, so that with the hash now we are going to see. In future without hash also I will tell. Okay, so with the hash. With the hash routing, if you want to handle, okay, in your React router DOM, there has one component is there that is like a hash router is the component, hash router. Okay, there has two types of routes over there. One is like with hash, another one is like without hash. With the hash we can handle by using hash router. Without hash we can handle by using browser router. By using browser router. One is like hash router, another one is like what? Browser router. Now hash router we are going to use for what? I want to handle the routing with hash. So this is my hash router. So how we can use my hash router by seeing this one, how it looks like? It's like a capital letter. If it is like a capital letter, most of the times we are going to use this one inside a JSX like what component or not. So just you can write this one hash router to handle. Just you can write it hash router. Okay, the next one. Inside the hash router, how we can handle, how we can map it. That is the next one or not. Okay, what do you want me to map? I want to map this particular, I want to map this particular path with this particular component or not. I want to map this particular path with this particular component or not. Okay, how we can? How we can means in this particular React router DOM library itself, okay, there has one more. What is that? One more, we can say this route is nothing but a component. One more component they exported. One more component they exported. So that by using this route component, we can map your path with your component. So that how we can means just see this hash router. Inside this hash router only is my component, which is used for what? To map it. Okay, what do you want me to map? My path equals to what? Path is like home. Okay, and my component is what? My component is like home component or not. See here. This is used for what? To map it. Okay, this is used for what? To map it. What do you want me to map? Okay, I want to map my path. My path is what? My home with which component? Home component or not? Like this, how many maps are required? Like this, how many maps are required? 4 maps. Okay, this is the one. This is the one. Okay, the next one is like about. The next one is like a contact. The next one is like a service. The next one is like a service. Now here, tell me my about path. You want me to map with which component? The about component or not? My contact path. You want me to map with which component? My contact component or not? My service path. You want me to map with what? Service component or not? Like this, you have to map. Okay. Now, if you come here, okay, if is there any errors or there, just we can. Okay, now come here. Now can you go to my console? Now come here. Okay, I will tell that one. I will tell. Okay. Okay, can anyone tell me this? Oh, come on, this is the one. We create a website. And we'll upload the data. Where will be saved? Where we are going to save your data? In the database. Okay, once you save the data inside the database, from the database you can get the data. Okay, the data is going to save within the database. Okay, now come here. My path is this one, my home component, right? Yeah, my router. Yeah, router. Okay. This is not required. Okay, here hash is there, right? Here hash is there, right? Okay, see, this is the common for with hash and without hash. So that while using this one, while using this particular hash, there is no need to mention the path is like hash home. Okay, this is common for with hash and without hash also. Without hash also. Okay, hash router is there what to handling the routes with hash. Here, just we are going to change like a browser router. That's it. Instead of hash router, we are going to change like a browser router. This part there is no need to change. This part there is no need to. Okay. Now come here. Now, next one is like a browser router. Okay, that switch also there. I will tell that switch. Or without switch also it will work. There is no issue. Okay, I save this. Okay, I'll say this. Home. If I click on the about. If I click on the contact. If I click on the service, all are working as expected or not? Understand or not? If I click on the home component. If I click on the about component. Contact component. Service component. Here, the thing is my hash router always expecting all your routes enclosed with all your mappings enclosed with a single element. Always. Okay, my hash router as well as my browser router always expecting all your mappings enclosed with a single element. Okay, that one is missing, so that is not one. Okay, now if you come here, you are in the service page. Now just I remove. Okay, just I remove this one. Okay, if I click on this, see this, nothing is there. Okay, if this particular hash with slash is there, okay, then that which page you want me to show? Which page you want me to show? Okay, see here nothing is there, only slash is there, slash only my path. Okay, then which page you want me to show by default? Okay, by default it should have to show like home page or not. So that can we write the path for this particular slash also? Okay, can we write the mapping? Okay, if my path is like only slash, then that time can we load your home component like that? Can we load your home component? How we can just write it? If my route is for what? For mapping. If my path is like only slash, then that which component you want me to load? Then which component you want me to load? I want to load like home component. Okay. Come here. Now say this. By default, it's like home or not. The thing is, the problem is, if I click on the about, if I click on the contact, if I click on the service, see this? Is it the expected output? If I click on the contact, only contact component I want to load it. Why my home component? Home component is not required. Okay, why it's loaded means very simple thing. If I click on the contact, this is the path, right? This is the path. Slash and contact is there. First, if you come top to bottom, my slash also mapping is there or not? So that my home is loaded. After that, my slash contact also mapping is there or not? Okay, that means, okay, this is also map and this is also map. Both are satisfied. So that my home component and my contact both are loaded or not. So how we can avoid this one means, if my path only slash, exactly slash is there, after that home, about and contact is there, then don't consider that one. Exact. Okay, exact slash is there. And only you can load home, otherwise don't load it. Now say this. Now home, about, contact and service. If I remove this one, say this is my home component or not? Now working as expected or not? Agreed? Done or not? Okay. Any questions? Okay, again we'll see this one. We'll see example without hash. Okay, that means browser router. Okay, browser router. Okay, understand or not? Okay, now come here. Wait. waiting for update signal for WSS. I don't know exactly. Okay, just check. What is this console message? Anyone knows? And the development server, it is an issue. It is okay. It's not. It's like warning only. That is not an issue. Disable host check. Okay, that is not an issue to run your application. Okay, I will check and let you know. Okay. Okay. Then. Once my application development is completed, what is the next step? Can anyone? Once my application development is completed, what is the next step? What is the next step? Yeah, you have to test it. You have to test your application or not. Okay. Now, generally, if you're for a company, what is the flow? Okay, what is the process? Which process you are going to follow? I have a company, for example, this is my company. Okay, how my company get the projects, general? Okay, how my company get the projects? Okay, each and every company get the projects from outside is nothing but those people we can say like a clients, right? General terminology is all right. Okay, who can communicate with the clients? Can anyone? You are working for one company. Okay, will you communicate directly with the client? Hey, can you give the project or something? No, right? Okay, each and every company has some business administrative people out there, BS, business people. Okay, that business people only can communicate with the clients or not. Their work is like simply they go and talk with the clients and get the projects. That's it. Okay, they just simply give some business to your company. That's it. Business people. Okay, my business people always their work is like just roaming and communicate with the clients, talk with the clients. Hey, okay, this is my company. Okay, these many products already we developed like this. Just they are trying to convince your clients and get the projects. Yes or no? Okay, once you get the project from this particular client, what is the next step? Next level. Okay, you get the project from the client. My BAs just communicate with the client and get the project. The next one is like, yeah. Okay, now the project come to my company. Inside my company, just hierarchy, how my hierarchy looks like. General. Okay, it's like manager. Okay, the next one is like what? Okay, the next one is like developer. That's it. Okay, inside the developer is like senior developer. Okay, I'm like a junior developer. Like this, just leave it. Okay, now this is the project my company got it from this particular client. Okay, now the manager and one more guy is like a architect. Okay, who is going to create this architecture and everything? For example, you joined one company. This particular create React app or web pack, you people not create. Okay, this structure is there, right? This structure and everything is not created by you people. Up to team lead level, there is no need to bother about this particular structure, skeleton. Okay, boilerplate code. There is no need to bother about this one. These things, this skeleton and everything is will take care by architects. These things will be by architect. But as a developer, you should know about the structure at least. Okay, you are not going to create this structure, but you should have to work on this particular application or not. That means you should know about that one. You are not the person to create this structure. Okay, as a senior developer, up to senior developer, you are not the person. Just simply my architect is going to create that skeleton and everything. Okay, now once you get the project, okay, my manager and my BA people, all these people are going to discuss. Okay, my client and my BA. Okay, all these people are going to discuss what requirements. Once you get the project, what I have to do, I should know or not. My company should know or not. Yes or no? Okay, that one we can say like a requirement specification. We can say. Okay, just we are going to gathering the requirements from this particular client or not. Now my manager and my architect, all these people are going to communicate. Okay, in this particular meeting, all these people, okay, architect, manager, high level, okay, business people, all these people involved. All these people involved. Okay, once my business, okay, requirement specification and everything, requirements and everything discussion completed. Okay, now you are going to think about the possibilities. Hey, this is my requirement. Is it possible or not? Okay, my client expectations are like high. Is it possible to do that one or not? Okay, my architect and my manager, all these people are going to discuss. My client can ask anything, but the possibility has to, okay, that is like possible or not by using React, by using Angular, by using Java. That one, these people are going to discuss, and they are going to convince. Say, you are asking this approach. Okay, we can do it like this. Okay, this is also satisfied your requirement like this. These people are going to convince to your client. Once my requirement specification and everything is done, then you are going to start with what? Development or not. Agreed? Yes or no? Now here, the development and everything. Okay, it's not like every day you are going to give some work and submit that work. Not like that. Okay, each and every company has some process or not. Okay, waterfall model, agile, no one following like agile waterfall model, all are like agile process only or not. Yes or no? Okay, inside agile, just we are going to give like some sprints, okay, scrums, all these things come into the picture. Okay, that one leave for now. Okay, we'll discuss later. Once you are under this particular category or not, you are the developer under this category or not. Okay, once you have the requirements, okay, you are going to start your application development. Okay, so my client tells like, hey, this is one of my requirement. Okay, I want header and footer on menu, home, about, contact, service. Okay, so that this is my requirement. That requirement held by my client and developed by you people. Okay, so that my development completed. Okay, now my requirement given by the client. Okay, you developed that application. Yes, my development completed. Okay, the next level is what? Development completed. Okay, the next level is what? Once you develop this particular one, this particular code. Okay, once you written this code should not be inside your local machine or not. Okay, somewhere we are going to save it. Where we are going to save? Okay, one of the version control command picture, that is like a Git. Okay, we'll discuss later that one. Okay, Git or Git bucket, all these things. Okay, now once your development is completed, this particular application you are going to give for what? Testing or not. Okay, now my QE people come into the picture. Okay, you are the developer. Now my QE people come into the picture. Quality engineers. QA you can say. Okay, this is like dev environment and this is like a QE environment. Once my development is completed, you are giving some build to your QE people. Okay, my QE people is going to start their testing. Once my QE people also accept like, yeah, each and every requirement is satisfied, it's okay, fine. Okay, then the next level is what? Can anyone tell? My QE people sign off. Sign off is nothing but yes, he agreed. Yeah, the requirement and everything is like satisfied. Okay, there is no bugs, nothing. Then the time, what is the next level? We are going to move our code is like production or not. What is the production? See here. Up to this level, instead of production, there has one more level also there. It's like a stage environment. Okay, different companies are using like multiple environment. Okay, stage or UAT. Okay, like this stage environment. Okay, here also my stage environment is equals to your prod. That's it. My stage environment is what? Equal to your prod. Okay, once your application is running 100% correct in the stage, okay, you can confidently say like, okay, yes, that is going to run production like this. It is simply the cloned one to my production. Okay, one application is running in the stage, nothing but you can say like 99.9%. Okay, that application is going to run in the prod. Okay, my QE and my dev is like my own databases and everything, so that sometimes it may run here, may not be run here. Why? Because the environment is like database environment and everything is like something different. Okay, once you can say like my application is running in the stage working as expected, 99.9% is going to run in the prod also. Okay, you can say like that. Okay, see here, my developer just he is going to do the testing. Once your development is completed, he do like developer testing in my dev environment, and he is going to give the build to my QA. My QA is going to test that one and give the build to my stage. My stage also one more. Okay, QA people only is going to test in the stage environment. Once my stage environment also all are working, all said like yes, sign off. They give like yes, working as expected. Then we are going to move this code to my prod or not. We are going to move this code to my production or not. Okay, now tell me what is this prod? Okay, what is the difference between these environments and that environment? What about these three and what about this one? Yeah, if my these three, if you observe, these three, if you observe, these all are worked by or used by whom? These all environments are used by whom? Developer environment used by me. My testing people are used by whom? My testing environment is going to used by my QA. My stage also used by QA only or not? Yes or no? This is like these all applications, QA, dev, and stage application used by my company people only or not. Okay, these applications simply are going to run about most of the intranet. Intranet. Okay, that is specific to my company. My company people only through VPN or something we are going to use to connect. Yes or no? Okay, my company people only just you are using. Once my application is completed, only my company people are using. Okay, then how my product is going to go to the public? Okay, how I can publish? Okay, the next level you should have to publish to my wall or not. Any product is there through website. So the next level you should have to deploy your code into your prod is nothing but just you are going to publish your website to your wall. That's it. Okay, now if you want to deploy this code, okay, then what? How I can deploy this code? What is the deployment first? Tell me the word deployment. What is deployment? Most times we are going to hear about this word. Okay, deployment is nothing but very simple thing. Moving your code from your local environment to server memory. That's it. Okay, the deployment is nothing but see here. Okay, this is my local. Okay, this is my system. I'm going to give one build to your dev environment. Okay, that is also deployed in dev. Okay, now moving my local code to my QE environment, QA server. Okay, giving build to my QE. Okay, that is also deployment. Okay, just we are going to move this particular code, whatever the code is there. Okay, that code we are going to move to that particular server memory or not. That one we can say like a deployment. You deployed the code inside my dev environment, okay, or QA environment, or stage environment, or prod environment. If you deploy the code into dev environment, only developer can see it in your company. Why? Because it's running intranet. Okay, QA environment, if I give the build, okay, if I deploy the code into your QA environment, my QA people can see it. Okay, stays. Okay, one more guy. Okay, QA people only can see it or not. Now, the thing is, you deployed all these environments are okay. Okay, that is like only intranet. It's okay, fine. That is for your sake. Now, you are going to deploy your code not in your intranet, in your company network or something. You have to deploy your code. Deployment is nothing but you have to move this code, one of the server memory, which is like public one or not, public server or not. Yes or no? So that server is nothing but what? First tell me. Okay, each and every time we are going to deploy this code into server like this, we are telling, right? Server is nothing but what? Okay, very simple thing. That is like one mission only. Okay, same like this only, one mission only. This is not shut down, that's it. It's 24/7, that mission is going to be accessible. Yes or no? That's also a simple mission. Okay, based on your requirement, my server memory, okay, 1000 GB I want. Okay, yes, you can buy it. You can buy it. Okay, my mission is like only this much GB. Okay, that is my local mission. Okay, if you want to buy some other mission, yes, you can buy in the cloud. Buy in the cloud. Okay, you can give some amount. Okay, you have to purchase that one. Okay, that's like a simple mission which not shut down. Okay, anytime if it is like shut down, then the time it's like what? It gives me like, okay, server is not accessible. Okay, server down like this. Some of the error messages you are seeing or not. Like when my server is going to down. Okay, once my machine is going to shut down or something because of some reasons, then the time my server is going to come down or not like this. Okay, so I want one mission. Okay, that should not be shut down. Like this, I want one mission. So who can provide that mission? Okay, do you want me to use your company mission or something? If it is like a company mission, that is like intranet. If it is running in the internet, who can access? You people can access through VPN or something. Okay, that should be in the cloud or not, that should be in the public or not. So few of the service providers are there, they provide you some space in the cloud. Okay, some mission, okay, one mission. Okay, you can buy one mission in the cloud. Okay, some of the service providers they provide it. Okay, can anyone tell some of the service providers? GoDaddy, okay, AWS, Amazon Web Services, okay, Microsoft Azure, okay, that is not working. Azure, okay, Heroku, like this. Different service providers are there. Okay, they provided you one mission. Okay, you can purchase. You should have to purchase one mission based on your requirement. Okay, what is the configuration and everything. Okay, that mission is a public one. Okay, anyone can access by using that particular IP address. Anyone can access it. That mission will never ever shut down. Understand or not? Okay, in that mission, I have to deploy my code. I have to deploy my code. Okay, deployment is nothing but what? Deployment is nothing but what? Deployment is nothing but what? Moving your code to your server memory. That's it. Okay, so far your code moved to, so far your code, where is your code? Can anyone tell? So far your code is where? Where is your code? Your code, where is your code? All your code, once your development is done, I already told to you, all your code we are going to save in the Git or not. This is your code or not. Okay, from here itself, we are going to deploy our code in the dev environment. Okay, we are going to deploy our code into your QA environment. We are going to deploy our code into where? Okay, stage environment, as well as we are going to deploy our code into prod environment also or not. Moving your code from local to your server. That's it. That's nothing but what? Deployment or not. Deployment or not. Okay then. Now all your code inside your Git. Okay, simply you can say like you saved your files in your local machine, right? Instead of local machine, you saved your files out of your machine. That's it. Out of your machine. Out of your machine is nothing but anyone can access it in your company. Okay, simply think like that. Okay, now how we can move this code to my production? That is the next level or not. Now, if I move this code to my production, okay, throughout world can see it or not? Agreed? Throughout world can see it or not? Yes or no? Okay, if I move this code, the code is like this only. If I move this code, if if all these things move this code, okay, code if I move to production, anyone can see my code or not, whatever I written. If I move like this only, anyone can see it or not? Is it the recommended way? Anyone can see it or not? Okay, I said like moving your code from your local machine to server memory, that is nothing but deployment. Okay, I want to deploy in the production. Production is nothing but everyone can see it. It's a public one. If I move this directly code, okay, this code only directly, then the time anyone can see my code or not, whatever I written. Okay, if I publish my code also, then the time anyone can take the code, can create one more website or not. Okay, you should not give your source code directly or not. You should not deploy your source code directly or not. Okay, then how you can deploy? Which code you want to deploy means just minify your code. Minify is nothing but, okay, minification uses what you know. Okay, for example, here 4 files are there. 4 files are there. Now these 4 files size is like 10 KB, for example. If I minify it in a single file, then the time that particular file size also decreases like 10 to 1 KB, as well as minified all are merged, then the time it's not an understandable format or not. Okay, if anyone see, then the time they are not able to understand, as well as my size also decrease. Once my size is decreased, while loading into your browser, it takes like what, minimum time or not. Okay, because of that one, my performance also increased or not. Yes or no? You should have to minify your code. So how we can minify? Do you want me to minify manually? If I minify the manually, these many files and folders are there. In future, 100 components are there, one by one, like this. You want me to minify? Okay, you should not. For that purpose, there has one command is there. If you see this one, the command is like what? Build is the command. Okay, so that can we run that build command now? So for how many folders are there? 1, 2, 3, like this multiple folders are there, right? Okay, 3 folders. Now can I run this build command now? Okay, how we can run your how we can build your application? See, development is completed. Now I'm going to build your application. npm run script. Okay, npm build is the command, right? He said like, see, you only said like there has one more command is there. Run that command like that. npm build. Okay, see this. Do you mean npm run script build? Yes. Okay, this is only the one. Okay, now I click on this. Now see, all your code is going to be minified. All your code is going to be minified. Okay, if you observe here, where my application is running now, in one of my local server. This is my local server. Are you able to access this one? Are you able to access this one? Okay, I pasted in short. Are you able to access this URL in your machine? Are you able to access? No, right? Why? Because my server is running in my machine. It's specific to my machine. Okay, my machine is like a company. My server is running where? In my company only or not? Okay, I can only access that one. Outside people can't. It's a like restricted one or not. In my local, me only can access it. Okay, if it is deployed here, then the time me only can access. Okay, you should not do like that. Why? Because once my development is completed, that should be published to the world. So you have to deploy this code into another mission or not, out of your mission. Another mission is nothing but your mission in the cloud. See here, my deployment, my build completed. See, there has one more folder created or not. See, all your total application, whatever the node modules are there, public and source, all files and folders turn to be like this. Okay, minified into this. Okay, now see, you come here. Where is the public? Okay, my React app. See the build folder. This much code you written. Okay, in your application, this much code is there. This all code minified into these many files. These all code minified into these many files. See this? Okay, these are the static things. The CSS, all the CSS minified like this. There has two types of files are there. One is like map file, another one is like normal file. What is that map file? I will tell later. Okay, another one is like JS. See here, all your JavaScript files are turned to be like this. All your JavaScript files are turned to be like this. Okay, done. My build is completed. What is the next one? Once my build is completed, what is the next one? Can anyone? Once my build done, the next thing is what? Once I have the code, you should have to move this code to my production or not. You should have to move this code to my production or not. Agreed or not? Can anyone? How you should have to move this code to my production? How we can move it? If you want to move this code to my production, you should have to buy some space in the cloud or not. Who are the providers? Who are the service providers? Can anyone? Who are the service providers? One is like GoDaddy, another one is like AWS, another one is like Azure, Heroku, like these multiple service providers are there. Okay, how we can deploy this code in the GoDaddy and AWS, I will tell in tomorrow's class. Okay. Okay, I will tell that one tomorrow's class, how we can deploy this code in the GoDaddy as well as AWS also. Okay, thanks guys, thanks for joining.